how do you prioritize the money? I would prioritize with Bryce Harper.
But then you might put yourself in that Wizards box where it's not a league-sanctioned salary cap, but you're kind of up against the learner cap. You know what I mean? And then you're, what can you do? Then you're hamstrung. Are you going to have the money to go out there and get? They definitely need another premier pitcher. I'm sorry. They have I say two silly starters. Consider Strauss a half one and Roar. God.
But Harper's 25. If he was 32, I'd say, okay. But at 25, this is when you should be entering your prime.
I agree.
So if he stays healthy, he's going to produce.
Let's just say you sign him for $300 million. Then you've got $300 million with Harp. You've got $175 with Strauss. You got $210 with Max.
Right.
You got $685 million wrapped up in just 3 players.
Right, then you got Rendon coming up in a year or two. You got to pay him.
You got a
All right,
lot.
so you have
and
to
then
make
you'd
the
have
choice.
to go out and sign a couple other big names.
I'd rather
GM Cake Sawville. You have to make the choice.
Now, is this me?
You're either going to re-sign. No, this is GM Cake Sawville.
So I'm Am I free of budgetary constraints from,
I'm
from ownership?
I'm giving you the budgetary
You can't do
constraints.
everything. You have to make a choice.
You have the money to either re-sign Harper, and then it's going to be dicey with Rendon and Turner.
Yep.
Or you say, bye-bye, Harp. We're going to use your money and re-sign, extend Anthony Rendon and Trey Turner.
By the way, it's not just Turner and Rendon. It's you need at minimum one starting pitcher. I'd argue two. You need a catcher,
a second baseman.
I'm signing
they're
my
still,
superstar.
They're not sure on defense.
But you could, if you re-signed Harper, you could trade Robles for a top-line pitcher.
Right.
I mean, you could get like a Blake Snell.
That's the alternative.
Yeah,
I'm going to strike a deal, and I'm going to keep the franchise cornerstone in D.C. for the next 8 to 10 seasons.
And trade one of your younger pieces.
I'll worry about Turner and Rendon down the line. I'm going to keep the guy who's going to keep butts in the seats for the next 8 to 10 years and who's on track to become a Hall of Famer.
Would you entertain, like re-sign Harper, right, for whatever number? Would you entertain trading Strasburg?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course. That would be on the table at all times.
I'd be butt-sized to trade him.
Yeah. Now, I'm not sure if a team he's on the DL 2-3 times a year.
Gets hurt all the time.
But that's something I would look into, too.
Exploding. I keep waiting for it.
But, again, we don't know if Harper wants to, negotiate now. Maybe he wants to just play the field.
Well, it doesn't hurt him to listen. Listen to offers.
Yeah, I'm sure they're probably talking or have talked.
I'm sure they have, too.
And what we don't know is
saying this is the time to bring the hammer down. This is the time where you get as serious as you can.
If we don't know the budget,
if
you're Harper and a team, the learners come and say, all right, we don't really want to do this, but we have to keep you.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to give you. Here's your offer. Mm-hmm. It's tough to turn that down.
I think it's tough too.
It's tough to turn down 300 today.
But he's got leverage. He has leverage. He's in a perfect position.
He's not Jason Worth, who Jason Worth was better at Scott Boras.
I understand that.
Bryce Harper.
I understand that. It's just hard when it's in front of you, on the table there. I know that in a few months he's going to get it, but it's hard to turn it down today.
Guys have done it with smaller deals, like Joe Smith turning down $100 million.
Yeah. I know. How'd that work out?
Never forget that one.
Yeah,
who's the other one? The Nerlens Noel. What did he turn down? Like $80 million,
75, 80, something like that.
Yeah. The guys do turn down.
Juan Gonzalez. Didn't he turn down a massive deal?
Yep.
Blew up in his face.
Didn't he
By the
get
way,
like
right
140 though at one point?
He may have, but he passed on a lot of money.
Since 2012, Svrluga points out that Harper, who came up as a 19-year-old, has a 900 on-base plus slugging percentage.
Mm-hmm.
These are the guys who are ahead of him. Trout, Votto, Cabrera, Goldschmidt, Stanton, Chris Bryant. That's it.
And all those guys, as Barry points out, are all older than him. He's younger than all those guys.
Yep. Trout's
just entering his prime.
I think
25.
I think Cakes JP agrees with Cakes. If I'm the GM, I'd rather sign Harper and roll the dice on Rendon and Trey Turner.
Can you equate this to a Bradley Beal deal? You think he's better than Bradley Beal?
He's better than Bradley Beal.
I think he's better.
Yeah, Bradley Beal
is your John Wall.
Bradley Beal's made one All-Star team.
So this is your John Wall contract extension. All I know is the Wizards are
better than Wall too.
Okay, in his respective sport.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, he's been an MVP. John Wall will never be an MVP.
Right. I might argue he'll never be MVP again.
Well, if he
might not.
Last year, we pointed out last year, had he remained healthy, he might have been an MVP.
Last year for sure.
And this year, the second half is MVP worthy, but it's just the second half.
Right, it's not going to get it done.
I don't know. I'm getting into
They're not going to give the
So what do
MVP
you do?
to a guy who finishes 10 games out
I
first.
would use the money to bring in another silly.
So you let him
pitcher.
walk.
I don't know Blake Snell. I mean, not silly. Premier silly.
Well, Snell you'd have to trade for.
I'm talking about.
I'd have to go look
Use
at the free
that
agents.
money to bring in a premier, like a number one, a 1B starter. Bring in a silly catcher. And then you got Robles, Eaton, Taylor, Soto, and you're straight.
What is GM Bish doing? Are you making this a split? Because Cakes and I say re-sign Harper, then deal with the rest later. EB says reallocate the Harper funds.
I'm not going to cry if they
on the rest
resign
of the
him. He's
players.
awesome to watch.
I mean,
but
it's tough. But again, it's not our money.